Here we are at episode number 42 with my good friend. We're going to talk through self doubt. And Scott, you've done a tremendous amount of work with several mentors, and so have I. And I really feel like this is a good subject because so many of us end up having this self doubt, like this. You could call it imposter syndrome. You could call it all kinds of things. At the end of the day, it's a real feeling, and it stops a lot of people from doing a lot of really, really good stuff. So let's jump right in.
Yeah, well, glad to be here again. Self-doubt is such a, heavy thing sometimes. I can think of many times when I was younger, just kind of talking myself. I've talked myself out of a lot of things, in a lot of ways I was thinking that I was talking myself like we're just talking about walking myself off the ledge. But actually, I was actually walking myself probably away from probably could have been a tremendous opportunity. But I can't think about it in that regard now because it wasn't the right time. I probably wouldn't have been ready for it at that time. But the self doubt has a way of coming in and just hit you like a wall.
Yeah,
It'll
it does.
get right in front of you, and you will really just stop. I mean, has that happened to
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. And here's what I've learned. A lot of the things that I have self doubt about are simply just concerns that I haven't answered. Like they're just unknowns. That's all they are. And I think it's the anticipation of the worst case scenario. But even worst case scenario could be engineered back to where it's not a worst case anymore. Some ideas that get stuck in your mind or thoughts are merely things that could never happen. And I think having a good plan, failure to plan is just failure. And I think
Mhm.
if you have a good plan, so like let's say for instance, let's just pick an opportunity to work through together on, and let's say, hey, we're going to go out and we're going to start a podcast and nobody's going to watch it. Well, that might be the very first thing that hits your mind, but is that true? Is there really any measurable data? So I would ask that person, what's stopping you? Well, the self doubt that nobody's going to watch it. Well, how many people are going to watch it if you never do the episode?
Yeah, zero.
Zero.
It's the amount if
How
you don't.
many how many people have the opportunity to watch it if you make one episode and push it out to YouTube? And I don't know how many active users are on YouTube or active people that have even the downloaded app on their phone, but there's a chance to throw that into millions, I'm sure. Maybe it's even billions. I don't know. But
Yeah,
it's up there, right? Like if you can record this one episode and you put it out there and somebody could watch it. And then the next thing is, well, what if somebody comments and I don't have the answer for it? We don't know what they're going to ask.
no,
You
no.
know, so it's very easy to just stack these things up in front of us where we can't even see over the wall on the anticipation of something going wrong, or just the anticipation of what's the outcome? Why do you want to do it? Well, I want to do it because I think I have an interesting story and I want to change lives. That's a pretty big why.
Hmm.
So why would you let that stop you? Well, I may not be that good at it. Well, how are you going to get better at it?
Yeah. Well, chances are, when you start out doing anything, you're probably not going to be good at
So so the truth is let's be honest with each other.
it.
You're probably not going to be very good when you start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's fine. I mean, no one, like even Michael Jordan wasn't Michael Jordan right out of the gate. He got cut from high school basketball, but he used that, channeled that to be better. He put in the reps. He was notorious for outworking everybody because he was always in the gym, always studying, you know, always getting that psychological edge, everything. You don't have to say you got to do it to that extreme, but chances are you're not going to be that good. And if you think that you might be good right out of the gate, you can feel free to watch any of my very beginning YouTube videos, and you'll see how terrible it can be at the beginning. And I guarantee you will feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
once you watch my videos that are that bad. But
Mine too, man. I mean, I started my YouTube channel because I wanted to be a motivational speaker. And years ago, I, just started recording with a well, before even a GoPro, I just recorded on my phone and I just put the videos out there and they were just me. I had a lot of driving time. So I literally just put my phone in the cup holder. The road noise was terrible. The service was in and out. And to be honest, they weren't that good. I mean,
yeah,
really, they weren't. And then I also think about I think a lot of us have this self doubt because we're comparing our people to people that's done this for years. But they're just like you. They would tell you, you think I'm good, but you should go back to the first video. So Russell Brunson, he
yeah.
talks about Russell Brunson's by far one of the best marketers and funnel hackers in the game, no doubt about it. I mean, the dude is he's a beast behind camera, and he's really, really smart. He's a beast on stage, but he didn't start that way. Like, and he's shared videos, early videos of him in a hotel room conference area, and he's talking, and it's not that good. Like, and he'll tell you, he goes, "Man, I don't know how I sold anything. It wasn't that good." The camera was blurry, everything was bad. His shirt was untucked. And at the end of the day, I think there also is people that get inspired because they see that you're the everyday person.
Hmm.
You don't have all the video equipment. You don't have all the podcasting equipment. You don't have the studio. You don't have the software. You're simply just making a video with your iPhone with your sunglasses on, and they see you're physically holding your phone, and you're posting that on TikTok or wherever. It doesn't matter how you start as long as you start.
Yeah, it's that's one real way to get rid of the self doubt is just kind of take a step back and ask the question, well, is this in alignment? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? And if it is a resounding yes, then just do it. Step forward into it, and you'll feel a lot better. And you'll see the more reps you do that, hey, this is not that bad. This is not that difficult, and you will get to look back at these terrible YouTube videos with your family, and you all laugh pretty hard because they are pretty terrible.
I want to. I actually got to explain this twice this week around worry and concern and some practical ways to remove the worry and concern. And the worry on certain things most of the time are out of your control. And I said, "Hey man, what's keeping you from moving forward on that?" And he's like, "Man, I've just got this concern, I've got this concern, I got this concern." Okay. Well, have you wrote that down? Like, have you wrote all these concerns down? He's like, "No, what good would that do?" And I was like, "Well, physically from that point, from writing it all down, just get a legal pad or iPad, whatever you write on, just get something out and physically write down all the concerns, every concern that you have. And these concerns most likely are you're going to find the root cause of what your biggest doubt is. And throughout that, just write through it, and you're going to find words that's going to pop out to you, like concerns of nobody watching it, concerns my videos are going to be bad. We'll take those and put them on the other side of the page, and put those down, and then drop a line down and go, what can I do about this?
Hmm.
Nobody's going to watch my videos. Well, nobody's going to watch any if you don't get started.
Hmm.
As simple as that. So that one gets fixed by you making your first video and posting it. The next one, my video quality may be bad. Okay. Well, do a couple things. Number one, try to make a video with your cell phone. If you have an Android or an Apple phone or whatever Google phone's out now, most of them have really good cameras. And find a quiet place and just set it up on a Coke bottle or something and just record it and then watch the video back and go, yeah, that's not that bad.
Hmm.
And then don't go on social media to compare yourself to others, but go on there to look at how some people, man, they've got a bunch of junk in their background.
Yeah.
It's really bad, but they're still doing it.
Hmm.
And then also ask someone that's already been there. I think that's very powerful that we don't often raise our hand We don't often say, hey, Scott, I know you've made several YouTube videos and you got a YouTube channel. How did you get started?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is, ask somebody that's further along. And one thing that helped me do it, and I was like kind of considering, well, I don't know if I should keep doing this because I was getting some really not so great feedback from my family and stuff like that, and how I was doing it. But I had a friend of mine, Alex. He said, "Hey, just keep doing it. Just
Yeah.
keep doing it."
Yeah.
And I was like, and I thanked him for it later on because it did make a difference. Because he said, you're talking about good stuff. Don't worry about it. And I was like, okay, yeah, and then I didn't, it didn't get any easier. Some days are easier than others, but it did get rid of some of the self doubt. It's like, well, it got me to that point. Well, yeah, I'm doing this, so it didn't really
Yeah.
matter. But getting back to your point of like writing it all down, that can be really good. Is if you write down like all the issues, all the negative things about it, and then write something on the next side. What could be all the positive things about it? Like what's worst case scenario, what's best case scenario. And then I found also is like you make a third column and what's something that I can do about it, like something that I, take an action about. And then at a certain point, when you get to that third column, something that makes you feel good about what you've done, you forget all about that first part because it just kind of gets you out of that mindset of just like, well, I've thought it through because when we're got that self doubt in us, our mind can start spiraling and start thinking about worst case scenario and everything's going wrong, and you know it kind of gets you to like, what's the best case scenario? Like you're saying, what if a billion people did watch your video? You know, it could happen. I mean, there's a lot of people on there. You never. I mean, I have given up trying to figure out how the algorithm works or what
Yeah.
actually happens there because I
Yeah.
there's videos I think, wow, that one was really good. 4 people watched it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing, man. And I've had that exact same thing that I shared a video the other day on Facebook. It was just a long form video and I just shared it on Facebook. And, I was neutral about it. I
Mhm.
thought, I just want to get this video out there to
Yeah.
just see what the audience says about it. I think that's the best thing you could ever do with self doubt is just make content. And, this isn't all about how to start a podcast or anything like that, but do whatever you're going to do
Hmm.
and then see what the audience says. So I had recorded this 10 or 12-minute video and I'm like, I'm just going to post this out there and just see what it does. And I did. And I got a notification like I think it was 30 or 40 minutes later that it said, congratulations, your video got 500 views. And I was like, huh, but the thing is, I was surprised. And I think that's what we have to be more curious a lot of the times. I think that when self-doubt really creeps in is we get too analytical
Hmm.
and we start thinking about all the analytics of
Yeah.
everything. And we
Yeah.
start paying attention to the analytics and we start trying to change this and change that. Well, the truth is the algorithm cannot catch up to you, or neither can your audience understand you if you're constantly changing, chasing an outcome. Like Michael Jordan did not make the high school team, he got cut. He probably analytically thought that he was the best candidate,
Hmm.
but by real data, he wasn't. So, what did he do? He got curious and he said, how good can I get if I shoot every day?
Hmm.
If I go in the gym and just shoot from every place on the court, how good can I get? He was curious. Same as me. I feel that when I post that video, I'm like, huh, I got 500 views in like
Yeah.
40 minutes. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, I should make another one. And I immediately posted another one and it said I got 738. I was like,
Nice.
cool. And then I posted another 40-second video and it got 100. I was like, I didn't like that one. Okay. You know, that's the thing is like, just be curious
Yeah,
and just keep going
yeah. Done. Just remember, done is better than perfect. It's not going to be
every
perfect.
time.
Perfection is the enemy of progress. I think I've
It
heard.
is.
If we keep seeking perfection, we'll never get it out there. And a lot of times we just have to get it out there. And going back to these stats and everything in social media, and just if you think about it, so what if the video only got four? What if you actually reached one person? That's all that matters. That's really that matters. You reached one person and it helped them. And that's really why we're doing all this, and why we talk about these things, because we're all going through the same thing. We all try to knock ourselves down just because maybe we want to feel more comfortable, but sometimes we have to get uncomfortable to get past that doubt. And I was wondering, a lot of times, why am I doing this and that? And then the other day I was walking here on the dock, and a young man came up to me and said, "Hey, you're Captain Scott. I see on the social media, you're doing a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff you talk about is really helpful." And I was like, "Wow, thank you. That made
Yeah,
actually that made my week. That
of
was
course.
pretty
Of
pretty
course.
nice." I was like, "Well, I really appreciate that. Because like I said, all it takes is that one person. Maybe they were having a bad day. Maybe they were going through some stuff, and something that we did or said made them realize that they could get
I'll never forget it. I was going through a lull with my YouTube channel and content. And, I put a million excuses in front of it. Too busy, don't know what to talk about, on and on and on. And it was during my kind of motivational speaking phase of that. And I got a new vehicle and I went over to a friend of mine's house that tended my windows. And, I could tell his energy was a little bit different, but he says, "Hey man, I really wish you had put out more videos." And I said, "Really? You watch them?" And he goes, "Yeah, yeah, I do." And he goes, "Honestly, I watch them more than you know. I never comment because I don't want people to see me out there. But I watch them, and honestly, I wish you would do it another one real soon because a lot of your content is really good. It's very helpful. And to be honest, man, I'm going through a divorce. I'm getting ready to go through a divorce, and I've got a lot of things in my mind that's going through my head. And honestly, listening to your videos brings me out of a bad place. It brings positivity to my mind, and I really wish you made another one." And that from that day forward, I never stopped creating content. I did not go weeks without publishing something. I've been consistent. And I'm not going to say I'm consistent enough, but I've got way more consistent since that day because I had no clue that the words that I had going out was impactful to somebody else until somebody told me.
yeah.
And I felt terrible after that. And I ticked it up a notch and I went after it. But I'm thinking about another story of this marketer, this guy that he had a consulting service. And this guy would send out 25,000 letters a month, lot. And he said, I would only hope that five of them got opened. Or no, he only hoped that 10 of them would get open. I'm sorry. He sent out 25,000 letters and he only hoped for 10 of them to be opened. And everybody in the crowd's like, "You're not, I mean, holy cow, man, that's a lot for not getting only but 10 open." And he goes, "Honestly, I only hope to close 4 clients out of that 10. And everybody's sitting there like, "How?" And he goes, "Because my ticket price is $25,000 or $250,000 a letter." So he makes $1 million a month by sending 25,000 letters. 10 of them get opened, and 4 of them he closes. And his minimum offer is $250,000. And that's what that letter is all about, is getting a client for $250,000. So he only needs 4 people. And he said, to be honest, if I sold one, I still made 250,000 that month. So is the 25,000 letters, is that pretty hard work?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that many when you're bringing in $1 million a month, because you can obviously put some systems in place to
or
doing that.
250.
Yeah, 250 either way, because if at 25,000, that's a pretty good return, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the biggest thing for anyone listening, self-doubt is real.
Hmm.
It is a blocker that you have to work through because lots of us have dreams and aspirations, and some of these dreams and aspirations were only given to you, Scott.
Hmm.
And it's up to you to take that forward and do something with it. You don't know why that vision was given to you to go start your YouTube journey or your investor journey, but it becomes real clear to you why you're doing it when that person walks up to you on the dock
Yeah,
or that investor calls you up and said, "Man, you changed my life.
yeah,
I'm able to retire now."
yeah. That's one of those things. Where we say this a lot on this channel, is the comparison is the thief of joy. And you cannot compare yourself to anyone else, because there's only one of you,
That's right.
and you're on your path. You're on your journey. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday, that's gone. But you can give it your all today. You can do what you need to do today. You can get rid of the self doubt by just stepping into that person that you need to be. Just one thing I was listening to this morning, they said just take a step back, take a breath, and whatever it is that you're looking at or what you are doubting yourself on, turn it around and think about the feeling you get when that actually happens, and feel it. Think about it as if it's already happened, and don't think about all the things that come with it. Just sit in that feeling for about 30 seconds or so, and then let it go, and I bet you'll step towards the next thing.
Yeah. I had a I do a little bit of coaching with people, and I had a person that was wanting coached a little bit about fitness. And not that I'm by any means a fitness coach or anything, but it was around lifting weights, and I've done a lot of that. And he said, "Eddie, how do you get yourself to show up so often?" And I said, "Well, real simple." And I actually took this from a buddy of mine. He was the one that told me this. He said, "When you're sitting there in your car in front of the gym, or you're on the bench and you just don't feel like you have another rep in you or just can't even get started, close your eyes and imagine that you're 80 years old and your life has went by and you're in so bad a physical shape that you can't even think about getting out of your car without assistance or even walking without a walker. Now turn the lights back on and realize you're in the now.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do about it?"
Yeah,
Because the doing nothing is the outcome. The
yeah,
doing something is unknown,
yeah. And the outcomes are completely different.
completely different. It's like I think Tony Robbins or somebody else talks about this, about the two same people that have the exact same thing happen to them, but one makes a different choice. One becomes imprisoned and doesn't go anywhere, and the other one goes on to found a multi-billion-dollar company. The exact same event happened to both of these people, but one of them made a choice. And that choice was, I'm going to go make the world a better place. I'm going to go after this dream. And the other one decided to drown in his sorrows. So self doubt is an equal opportunity. It is an equal opportunity effect on everyone in this world. But it comes to all of us, but we have a choice. Will we let it stop us, or are we going to say, not today?
Yeah, it can be that devil on your shoulder for sure, and it can get in your ear, and it can get take over your mind, really, and you can talk yourself out of all those things that are really just right there in front of you. You know, when I was younger, I always thought a lot of things were out of reach, and and that'd be great to do that and everything else, and actually the solution was right actually in the mirror. It's like the person that was stopping me from doing that was me. I was the one, the hindrance. I was the blockage, and the answer was right there in front of me. It's like, is this in alignment with my purpose and what I want to do? The answer is a resounding yes. Then that's what I'm doing. There's no, if it's a no, then that's fine too. I mean, but be careful what you say yes to, and be very conscious of what you say no to, because I had a session with Dr. Jamil on he has a podcast, and I was on there and I did a session with him, and our whole thing was about learning to say no more, because that, to me, a lot of times it's linked to that self-doubt, because you'll end up, when you doubt yourself, you start doing all these other things that you probably shouldn't be doing, and one thing, big takeaway that I got from it was, say no. If someone asks you for something or to do something, go quick to the no and try to make an argument for the yes, because you have to prove
Mm-hmm.
it to yourself for the yes. Whereas just say, a lot of times, a lot of us just say yes right away. If you say no, then if you can make an argument for it, it's more than whatever 50% or whatever, maybe you need to explore that. Stop yourself. It was a very enlightening moment for me, because it did help me with a lot of the self-doubt, because it was like, well, I need to say no to that. I need to say no
Yeah.
to that too, because this is why the doubt is coming, because this is where I don't feel like I have time to do this, when actually I have all the time in the world, because I'm saying yes to all these things that I shouldn't be.
Yeah. Man, that is so good. And I'm thinking through that, just kind of dissecting what you just said. And one of the biggest things that comes to mind is when we are starting something that's uncomfortable, it's easy to do the easy task first, and
Mm-hmm.
we just do a bunch of tasks. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that a lot of us are programmed that if we just get a bunch of things done, we feel really good about that, because we can just, let's go do this, let's do this, let's do this, let's prepare, let's prepare, let's prepare, and you're all these comparison check boxes accomplish nothing
Mm-hmm.
on the physical moving the forward, like making the first phone call, sending the first email, recording the first video. Like that's the hard one.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, we put all these little tasks in front, and saying no is not easy. It's like that is not what is programmed in us. It's like maybe maybe I could, but it's almost like nope, sorry. That right there is a reframe, but it gets you to understand the task or the things that you're going to say yes to are stealing your joy at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day. Because if you truly want to be what you inspire to be, if you spend time doing all these little bitty mundane tasks, but never take on the big one, then you never get anything accomplished. And what happens is I believe that when you do task, 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 and you have no physical measurement of anything, the next couple days you're like, I spent 3 days and haven't done anything.
Yeah.
I'm not one step closer.
Yeah. And you're still looking at that one thing that you should have done, that you
Yeah.
were doubting yourself on, and you look back and you're like, man, I could have done this 3 days. And then when you do finally do it, it doesn't take you that long, and you get it done. Like, you're almost kicking yourself, and then you can't beat yourself up about it, because you still got it done, but you didn't do it. You did all those other little things that you said yes to, and we think that the small wins sometimes will make us feel better and get us better into that space, but we end up just getting a lot of small wins that we didn't really need to do.
I have a really hard time with this because I find myself working on the things that will knock down the biggest domino in the room. And I know that I can't spend my time just running around knocking over the little dominoes. Like I know that what I have to do is strategically do certain things every single day with not a measurable outcome in the near, that I have to trust that we are moving towards something way bigger, and I have to reserve my energy for that one big push. But there's several things, and I think it just comes with strategic planning. It's like we know that we have to make this many phone calls a day, this many videos, this many texts, and none of these are going to be fruitful.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a preparation for the something bigger. But I have to do these before I can knock down this big one. And I really sometimes struggle with not seeing a measurement, not seeing a result.
Yeah, as I do, and because another thing that we talked about was patience. Like I have to have patience to trust the process, and and he did say to me, he's like, well, all those things that you accomplished, did they work out? Yes. It's like, did they work out in the time you wanted? No, but they worked out.
But they
You know,
worked out.
he was
You know,
comparing, like, say, I think, and I don't want to get this wrong, but like a dog being pregnant that was friends with an elephant that was pregnant, and the dog looked up at the elephant, and the dog had their litter, and then the elephant still didn't have theirs, and then a few days later, I mean a few months later, the dog had another litter, and then the elephant wasn't ready yet, because the elephant is in 2 years or whatever, and the dog is a few months, and the elephant didn't say, what's wrong with me or anything. It just said, it's not my time.
it's not my time. Yeah, it's not my time. But that baby that it has is way bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the giant of the earth, and it really is. And I think about, we were talking on offline before we started this, and going down the rabbit holes of certain new systems and stuff like that. I think it's very easy for us to also bring self-doubt into what we're doing,
Yeah.
and then start seeking a bunch of other things that may work better and faster. But the truth is, God has probably already allowed Scott to meet every single person on your little piece of paper, or your little Rolodex, or somebody in your phone. He's already gave you every name that you need to probably reach out to get done whatever you're going to get done. But as humans, our worst habit is more. We want more, we want more, we want everything easier. But you've probably already been given every resource. You just need to go back and sit with it and go, I met this person. Let me call this person. Rather than having systems that go out and do all these other things that you have to sort through anyway. Like even the new systems that's bringing you new stuff, you have to sort through that too. But if you were to just hyper focus on what was already given to you, sometimes we find ourselves with less self doubt, because self doubt also comes with signing up to something new, because it's a whole other thing to unwrap.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, man, maybe I should just go back to my Rolodex and roll this around on my desk a little bit and pull a card out and go, I haven't talked to this person yet. Let me talk to this person. And that person's got the answer.
Yeah, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, that a lot of times that thing's right there in front of you, the solution's right there in front of you, and the self doubt gets in the way. It doesn't. You start getting those blinders on of everything, like right here, when actually it's right here or right here. But you can't see it because you're so laser focused on beating yourself down and having that doubt about
Man,
this and that. Sometimes you just need to take that step back and go, well, and I think you brought it up the first time, like just take a look back and see all the things that you've done. Say, hey, I'm doing okay. Look at what I've done. Look what I've accomplished in my life. This is a lot of things, and it's it just everything is right there for me. It just hasn't showed up yet, and it's coming. It's going to show up. It's there. It's right in front of
one
us.
one of the most practical ways to break down self doubt and not give it any power is simply, like you were right there on it, is if you simply take out a notepad and physically write down every single thing that you've accomplished. Write down 10 to 30 things that you've accomplished, big or small. I'm a Christian. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a successful capital raiser. I'm a successful fund manager. I'm a successful businessman. I'm an author. I'm a podcaster. I've rebuilt an engine. I'm a certified welder. Just run through all these things and write them all down. And the level of gratification you'll get, it's not to create pride or ego. I want you to remain with your humility, but realize that you've physically done all these things. And it's really hard after you go through that exercise and not feel qualified
Hmm.
on whatever you're trying to start this minuscule on what's next.
Yeah, it really is, and that gets you into that place of gratitude. I mean, that whole gratitude will change your attitude and it'll change your altitude because you will walk higher, walk better, talk better, and I would even add to that, even after you've done those things, then write down all the things you're grateful for, your family, and all these other
Mm-hmm.
things, and that's just going to add to that different mindset of where you need that. It might just open up where that solution is, because a lot of times these solutions and this self-doubt goes away when we just relax, walk away for a minute and get away from those thoughts of are we should we be doing this, should I, this is going to go all wrong, or whatever. But if you don't do it, it definitely won't work.
Well, it will not. It won't. I think the thing that we'll leave the audience with is think about, I don't remember who did this with me, but they walk through this unbelievable dream scenario. And I was like, man, that sounds like an amazing life. And they said, that's your life by just making a different decision.
Yeah.
By making a decision to start every day. And I mean, it was like, accelerating in the future, kind of similar to your letter to
Yeah.
your future self.
Yeah.
And it was like this dream life 10 years from now. And I'm like, man, that sounds like a really amazing life. And they said, actually, that's your life. That's what it could be. And what is your life right now? And what doubts do you have? And I'm like, a lot. And he goes, so the only way to get to your dream life is to stop doubting yourself, because that's what's waiting for you. And
Hmm.
that dream life could be even better if you actually lived in it.
Most definitely. I mean, it's been such a great conversation about self-doubt, because I know we go through waves of it sometimes, and recently I've gone through a few extra waves of it here and there. Came up this morning, and I was listening to a podcast this morning. I was like, this is something that I know we all struggle with. Hoping that this helps some other people, because it's been very helpful to me.
Absolutely. Scott, where can everybody find you at?
It's pretty easy. Investwithscottkid.com. Find all podcasts, everything there, and everything about me.
Love it. So you can find me on Eddie Austin BEX on all platforms, including eddieaustinbex.com. You want to go check out what we do, it's jecapitalinv.com. Highly recommend you check out Scott and I's YouTube channels to see all the different episodes that we've done on the Inner Compass podcast. This started as we are just going to record like 8, and we're at 42 right now, which is extremely amazing to be pulled to continue to do this. And man, it's such a blessing. So we can see that all of you are listening, and from the analytics that we do choose to look at, a lot of you are not subscribed. We would love for you to hit that subscribe button and to share it with somebody that you love, and we'll see you on the next episode.